Welcome to the TD Show. I'm your host, Sean. I got Devin and Todd here. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. We're good.
Good. So, we learned on the last episode that Todd is counting a little differently than us two. So, we want to make sure this one, that's going to go on for a while, that we want to make sure.
We also learned that Sean likes soap operas.
I like soap operas. A very good comeback. Very good comeback.
I don't know why we want to call me out. Because you like soap operas over baseball.
And
we revoked his band card.
Bonbons and ice cream.
By yourself, right? You did by yourself.
Good. I'll sit by myself and watch
this guy. I can't do math, but I like baseball over soap operas.
Is Kelly going to be the man of the house now?
No, never going to be the man of the house. That one we want to keep on there. So I want to keep that on there. But anyways, so we didn't cover in the last episode, which we should have. A little bit about The Last Dance ending last week. Devin, you definitely can help out this because you're a younger generation. Yeah. You're more LeBron, Steph Curry. Who else? I don't know. I'm trying to think of some guys that I'm missing. Golden State Warriors there.
Klay Thompson.
A lot of talented guys. Yeah, and so basically, the one thing though that I liked about that last one was just like Jordan. Well, the one thing I didn't know, and they've talked about a lot this week, is the. I'm sorry that I'm making you tired.
Food poisoning.
It's the food poisoning.
I never did either. Yeah. I thought he had a flu or something.
It was the flu game, and
since it happened, it was the flu game.
He ordered pizza and ate a whole pizza.
What I think's funny, that's what I thought was like. He had a whole pizza by himself.
Yes.
And
that's what he's gonna be doing watching the soap opera.
Like
I'll eat a pizza and watch.
No one else ate it besides Jordan.
Yeah.
Like of all those people, he's the only one eating. It's like
they interviewed the delivery guy too. Like he's a Bulls fan. So he was a Bulls fan. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and all the 5 guys came with him just to go see if he was in there.
I mean, if you think it's Jordan.
Yeah, you're not going to mess with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to taint his pizza.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean, like, if the reason there's 5 guys showing him, I thought because it's
autographs.
Jordan.
Yeah. But it was. I think that the one thing though that I said this to Devin, watching like in the finals, it was the final 40. Bob Costas called this out.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The final 40 seconds of the game, he took over, and he basically took it on his back because Pippen, I think it was a little in his back.
Well, he came back. He left the game 2 times, and then he came back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it just Jordan. When they compare LeBron to Jordan, I mean LeBron's a great role model.
Yeah, great all-around player.
He's a big dude
in the game, outside of the game.
I mean, I think against Detroit, LeBron would have handled those guys pretty easily as big as he is. I don't think. I think he would have ran Lambeer over.
I just think he's more of a Magic Johnson type player.
Yeah.
And
Magic
Jordan. Yeah, him and Magic and LeBron are more like, and Kobe and Jordan are more like.
Yeah, Kobe's as close.
And I still say Jordan's the best, and then
Kobe. That's my opinion, Kobe.
It's either Kobe or LeBron.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty close. I mean, Kobe took all Jordan's moves.
Most of it.
Exactly. I mean, it's so hard because you got Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
I mean, Chamberlain scored 100 points one time.
And he also slept with 10,000 women, I think it was, too. Which is impressive.
That's
very impressive. That's impressive time on your hands.
That's a good stat.
Yeah, I took that stat right out of my head. So, but certainly, with Jordan, I mean, the one thing though that I was listening this week on a show that Horace Grant's not happy with Jordan. He's actually called him out saying if he wants to talk, we'll talk man to man because of what Jordan called him out for, like the behind the scenes.
Talking to the reporter.
Yeah.
Sam.
Horace Grant, by the way, looks like he pumps up Jordan.
I mean, it was kind of weird that Jordan would call him out like that and say he's.
But he did it.
That leaked the information.
I mean, I would think I think I'm going to believe Jordan over Horace Grant in some ways. I mean, Jordan. Why does Jordan got? What's he got?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't judge what's right and wrong at this point. I mean,
no.
You don't know who's right.
Or it could be controversy just to add to the last
dance. You can pick a
dance.
side who you ever believe, but you don't know what's right or wrong.
Right. Well, the other thing I think, the other thing though that I think that is interesting is like Jordan. Like the reason this came out, the whole talks is Jordan got a little worried when LeBron won his last title. I think it was in 2016 actually, and basically that concerned him being he's the greatest of all time. LeBron's winning, and LeBron's putting titles up. He's getting close to my.
Yeah, but there's, in my opinion, the players back then, there's just more depth. I mean, he went through. That's the whole thing that's amazed me about this whole scene in the '90s and who he had to go through to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all-star Hall of Famers he had to go through that don't have championships because of Jordan.
Yeah.
Patrick
The Knicks.
Patrick Ewing is one of the best centers to ever play the game.
Yes.
Charles Barkley is one of the best power forwards to ever play the game.
You were doing my thing.
John Stockton and Karl Malone are the best two players to ever play with each other.
Yeah.
They lost 2 championships in a row.
Yeah.
Back to back because of Jordan. I mean, not just Jordan, but that team.
When you're talking about depth, do you mean like just the team's depth, or like just the whole league depth of players? Because it's kind of
no. I think he's talking about the
league. The league was a lot deeper. Both. I'm talking about both.
Depending on how much you actually look at, like, and analyze the NBA.
3 steps. 3 steps.
Yeah.
The NBA is way different.
That's the whole. Are you talking about depth of player? Or
I'm talking both.
Yeah.
So player-wise, it's better. The kids don't learn how to play basketball anymore. They learn to dunk for most part.
Yeah. It's not about 3-point shots or
a lot of. Well, when Curry came around, it's like you want to be like Curry and shoot like Curry. It's still that way, and that's what I mean. LeBron is dunking.
But even then, so always, even that, like to Todd's point, is like Curry will take shots from half court. Back in our time, in the '80s and '90s, the 3-point contest was a huge thing. You look in the early '80s, they didn't have a 3-point line. And I mean, the game is far different.
They should take a lot more threes too.
Yeah. And it's almost like a guarantee.
Percentage-wise, that's a good philosophy to take more threes.
Yeah.
It turns out.
Yeah.
But in the '80s and '90s, that wasn't their philosophy.
And it was physical. It was physical.
It's a lot physical.
I mean, if you look at Detroit, look at the Knicks series against the Bulls.
Yeah.
That was actually like, seriously, like he brought up Patrick Ewing. Scottie Pippen ran him over and walked over him. Today's NBA, that wouldn't happen. One would probably be like a full-fledged brawl. Because the sensitivity of people. But the fact is that John Starks of the Knicks was annoying.
Reggie Miller?
Yeah, Reggie Miller. Him and Spike Lee were,
Jordan
constantly. Jordan,
they don't have championships because Jordan was so good.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And also, let's be honest, Jordan left the NBA, went and played baseball at a decent caliber, and then came back. LeBron had to go to different teams, in my opinion. Jordan left. They didn't do well. Hold on. Left, didn't do well. They lost in the playoffs. Came back and rattled off. He came in the middle of the season his first time back. So you give him a break on that. But after that, they rattled off 3 more. Because of Jordan. He's the missing point. LeBron's not.
I definitely agree with you. But it's like, it's almost, the closest scenario to it would be, I feel like.
Golden State.
Golden State, definitely. They've been the closest to the depth. They even broke the Bulls record, even with all the things that have changed and everything.
Well, they have supporting cast.
They won 73 and 5.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
That's impressive.
You're right.
But the closest thing probably is like Curry. You didn't know about Golden State. Curry came on the team each year. They became more popular, and then eventually they won championship 5 years in a row. And they lost 2. They could have won against the Raptors if they didn't lose KD and then lose Klay Thompson to terrible injuries. ACL tear, I think also PCL tear to Klay Thompson.
But that's the thing, like Jordan never lost an NBA championship. Never. When they made the finals, they won.
Yeah.
LeBron
to
can't
Devin's
say that.
point.
Can't say that.
Well, but actually, to help you on this one, to Devin's point, when he was little, it was Golden State. As a young kid, Golden State appealed to every little kid. He had to get the Steph Curry shoes. He had to have the Golden State jersey.
Just like you guys were.
Yeah, George. So I agree with him on this.
Growing up, I wasn't a Jordan fan. I actually cheered for those last two championships. I was cheering for Utah because I like John Stockton. I like Karl Malone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like those guys were awesome. And Jordan had won. I was tired of him winning. It's like the Patriot effect.
Jordan just was awesome. Like I had his posters and
I'm totally I think he's the best player ever lived. But I was cheering for the other guys.
I like John Stockton. To your point.
And Karl Malone's awesome.
It's just amazing how you got a guy Steve Kerr from the Bulls and how they progressed.
He's coaching Golden State.
progressed that team over the years. I mean, it all starts with Curry, and then it goes to Klay Thompson, and then eventually Kevin Durant's on the team, Draymond Green's on the team, Sean Livingston, who had a terrible knee injury or leg injury in 2007. I actually saw it. He had like a terrible knee injury in 2007, and he almost had his leg amputated. Came back, went to Golden State, won 3 championships.
So he pulled the Alex Smith.
It was impressive. It's like, and then you got Andre Iguodala, and it's like you see all this depth in the team, and then how he won this championship 5 straight years, and it's like they could have won in Toronto, and they could have won.
Kawhi Leonard took over that game.
No, what happened was we had nobody.
I mean, Durant wasn't there.
Durant wasn't there. That's 2.
Well, I mean, either way, I mean,
Klay Thompson and Curry are called the Splash Bros. Reason because all they do is shoot threes. And
I mean, there's no doubt that Golden State's a great team for the last.
I'm not gonna argue that.
I mean, when KD came
10
back,
years?
came back in that series, you saw what happened. You saw his Achilles tear.
Well, I think
a close up of his
I think it'll be good to see how. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good to see how KD does with Kyrie Irving in New Jersey.
Once all healthy.
Yeah. Because I mean, is it the supporting cast or is it KD being who he is?
So. Going to Klay Thompson, it was tragic because I think all he was doing was going for a layup, and he just came down and slipped and landed wrong. And you just saw his leg.
But that's how, I mean, you look at the Bulls. I mean, they could have came back and done the 7th title, and they, hearing about different things on that one.
Well, Jordan never leaves. How many championships do they have?
Yeah. Well, I think they had.
It took off a year and a half to play baseball.
But I think they were warned.
Not watch soap operas to play baseball.
Right. I think watch soap operas. That's why he came back to the NBA.
They probably could have never. In that time, the 2 years, like 94 and 95 are the years that they didn't win, right?
Yeah.
So
95, Jordan came back mid-season with the 4-5.
If he never left, they could have won those 2 and then had an East. And then
they won 6 out of 8 years.
And then if that team would have stayed for 1 more year, like they said in the show, that could have been 9.
If you think about it, if they would have beat the Pistons earlier, they played the Pistons 3 times.
And lost that first one, the second one,
The first 2 they lost, the third one they won.
Yeah.
They would have been interesting. Yeah, they could have been even more legendary.
More titles.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was a great series.
Yeah.
Good. I think they should do more things like that. I know Tom Brady's got one coming up, and then they got one on the Sacramento Kings owner, which is awful.
I'd love
he's
to
racist. Yeah, Gretzky would be good. I think on certain guys like Lemieux.
Was it the Kings?
Ovechkin?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not yet, buddy. One cup is not like compared to Gretzky.
The Kings.
So
if we stop having these stoppages in season,
here we go, comparing to Gretzky, Ovechkin, because he's just everything. Does he have 1 title? I'm just checking. One cup, right? Okay. How many does Lemieux have? How many does Crosby have?
we beat you guys.
Crosby's still
That's
alive, right? Okay. Don't get mad. We're trying to compare here.
I'm talking about. You sure it's the Sacramento? I thought it was the Clippers.
No, Sacramento Kings owner.
Because a few years ago it was the Clippers guy.
No, Sacramento Kings
I
owner.
thought it was Clippers.
Is it Clippers? I'm sorry. Excuse me. He's right. I'm sorry. It's the LA Clippers owner. He's racist.
Anyways, going back, because you don't want to get the wrong person mixed up there.
No, it's good to know. I'm glad you called that out. I don't know why. I'm thinking of the Maloofs that own the Sacramento Kings. They own hotels in Vegas.
Anyways, go back to the thing. Yeah, Lemieux has 5.
We don't even have to talk about that because he has 1 cup.
One cup. It took you 45 years.
Long
40 years.
Long time.
If
you're counting, hold on.
If you're counting, it's 40.
No, but hold on. I know his comeback's going to be, Crosby should have been on the Caps. You guys cheated. Yeah, we cheated. We cheated. I know, that's your favorite comeback.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about the past.
There's this thing going around, like what would happen if Ovechkin was on Penguins and Crosby
have you seen that?
It's been like going around.
You've seen that, the jersey? That was uncomfortable.
I was like,
no way. That was
wait,
to
touch on it.
The bottom line is the Caps got dogged. They had a
We've switched subjects.
a lockout. So the Caps were the number 1 seed. Got Ovechkin. They had a lockout, and then the NHL, the Penguins franchise was crumbling, so they had to give them the best player in the draft.
I think we were at that.
That's a fact, people.
Okay. It's a fact, people. It's a fact also that the Caps have Ovechkin, have Oshie. They've had a lot of guys. They also had, hold on, this is the best. You don't know this because you were not around. They had a guy they used to bark at. Well, that bark at guy, he did this actually with another team. That's hoisting a cup. And I think he did it once or twice with our team. Then he went to Detroit. But somehow Larry Murphy never did it in Washington. Scott Stevens never did it in Washington. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? He left it in New Jersey. So, I don't know. So you could cheat Crosby or whatever. I think it's a Washington choke.
Okay, listen.
How
Crosby,
can you say we choke now?
Crosby or not.
It's been a couple years.
Crosby or not.
It's been sooner than the Penguins.
Crosby or not. In 2017.
It's been
Hold on. I knew you were trying to get this out. He keeps their one cup that they've held close.
You said it's been a long time ago. I said it's been sooner than the Penguins. What's the
Yeah, but
problem?
we've won other times.
That's not your point, though. You said
It is my point because you guys
you
won
said
one
it's been a
cup.
long time ago, and I said
It is.
it's
It's a
sooner
couple
than the
years.
Penguins. What's
But you know what
what's
they say?
factually not true about that?
Because he's getting serious here.
44
All right, move on.
Yeah,
Move
he's
on.
upset. He's upset. We touched the
44
nerve.
years sooner? Is that what you mean?
No,
Oh.
My point is with
2
sooner
years.
is
Was it
we won.
2017?
Well, we won back to back. Not
18,
once,
but
not twice, but
It
three
was
times.
2018. But 2000.
Right, and they haven't won since.
But the thing is, let me
I
get
know
this
it's
out.
neither of you
In
guys. What's your
2017, you guys.
We have
Like I said,
Hold
we
on.
won earlier.
Holy crap! Let me get my
angry man.
point across.
We have
My
more cups than
God.
your team. Your team is not
I've
that
been
good.
interrupted
factually
so
true.
many times. Holy
You can't
crap.
argue against that.
I'm not arguing. I'm arguing against.
I still
I'm
arguing.
arguing
I'm not
against.
gonna get out.
We've won.
I'm not
sooner.
gonna get out.
You
I'm just
said
gonna sit
you
here.
won a long time ago. I said we were in 2018. You guys won 2016 or something.
Back to back. And
Okay.
before that.
Okay.
No 9 and 91, 92.
Shut up!
What is your problem?
It's like I keep being interrupted.
All right, go
And
ahead.
multiple times. I'm just trying
Sorry,
to
we
get my point across.
interrupted the young one here.
The year you guys won, that wasn't even your best team. The year before it was your guys' best team you've ever had, supposedly to.
Oh, that's the team where we beat them, right?
Statistics
Yeah.
and according to statistics and the analysts and all the reporters around the NHL is that the 2017 team was your guys' best team and we beat you guys. The next year, you guys finally beat us because we were the crap team. That's how you guys got past us, and then you got
It's
past
not my
Tampa.
birthday, so I was very angry.
Well, either way, we beat you to get this Stanley Cup one. I don't want to debate
How many times
what
have
team
you
was
beaten us?
better.
How many times have you beaten us?
I'm not debating if the 2017 Caps were better than 2018.
Let's just
We
remember
lost to you guys,
gotten
fair and
swept
square.
in the
We usually,
Stanley Cup playoffs.
the past, we've always lost to you guys. There's nothing
Yeah.
to debate there. Besides 2018, 2018 we broke the glass and we beat you. That's the bottom line. There's nothing else to say.
Stone Cold says.
Normally you guys win. The 90s you guys beat us because Lemieux would come back after a 4-1, up 4-1.
98.
3-1.
And you
3-1. There you go.
the fact
3-1.
that
There's that math.
3-1.
There's that math.
In 1998, you guys got swept by Detroit.
And here's the thing. You guys have owned us until 2018. That's a fact.
We still
There's nothing
own
else I can
it.
say about it. But
still
in
own it.
2018,
According to
we
records,
beat you
we
and won the
still
Stanley Cup. There's nothing else to say about it.
According to records, we still own you pretty bad.
Yes, there's nothing else to say. But the last time we played in the playoffs, we beat you. That's a fact.
Yes.
That's all there's to say.
But at the end of our game,
you guys have the numbers. You guys have the stats. But it's 2018, we beat you.
Beating us
That's
there.
the bottom
Do you
line.
want to know how many times you've beaten us since that time? Like, I'm saying, like,
It's probably 50-50, if I had to guess.
when you won that
I
time,
think he's right on that.
we've won. No, I'm talking about playoff series.
Well,
Not playoff series.
the next year we
You've
lost the
won-
first playoff series.
You've only beaten us 3 times in
Or-
the playoffs. Ever.
That sounds right.
We've won 15 other times. That's a large gap.
Like I just said, Devin, you guys owned us besides for 2018.
We still own you because it's 15-3.
Well, before you were born,
He's right about that.
true, but that doesn't.
I was around.
And
My
five
point was we beat you the last playoff series.
Okay.
You guys owned us. I'm not denying that. You guys, in the 90s, Penguins we'd be up 3-1. Lemieux would come back after
So,
his
I've
back
gotten
injury,
kicked out of his house.
and
many
you
games.
guys would beat us in the triple overtime or
Yeah.
quadruple
Whatever.
overtime.
And wait, so in 19.
So I mean, we're arguing about this. I'm not debating that you guys. As
We're
far
not
as
arguing, we're just having some fun with it.
Statistically, you guys
Somebody's bitter.
are
in
winners.
1998, did you guys play us?
Of course, I'm bitter. I hate the Penguins. I hate Lemieux.
In 19.
He's great though. He's better than
I
your
hate
boy.
the fact that
Is he better?
the
Is
NHL
Ovechkin better than him?
cheated and didn't let the Penguins pick first in that draft
Oh, Lemieux?
because they were.
Lemieux.
No, it's
Crosby.
Crosby.
Oh, I was just, but is Lemieux better? Is Ovechkin better than Lemieux?
So
I'm gonna laugh
let
at
me
you.
get this straight. So like the little
Because he's not.
with the little machine.
You're out of your mind.
So hold on, with the little machine
Wow.
with all the little balls.
I would
That's
say-
Wow, that is spoken like a true Rock the Red,
Wait,
non-knowledgeable fan.
You didn't let me finish it. I didn't even say the answer.
Whoa, hold on. So the little machine that with all the balls inside of it to show what pick you get, that's cheating. It's literally like a
No,
lottery.
he makes a good point.
It's a lottery. It just gets sucked up, and that's.
Kevin, you realize that's not what happened.
Yeah, that's not what happened. What he's trying to say is there was a lockout, and what happened is because of that lockout, the Capitals
And the
actually
NHL doesn't have a lottery.
Yeah, they don't
They
have.
have a lottery draft now.
Now they do, but
Not back then.
But back then they did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, actually they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did actually. Now
It's a lottery
your argument, you're wrong.
in a 10-year span.
Caps fans don't
In a
realize
10-year
reality.
span, they took the top.
Our
15
guest who's going to join us will actually help us.
In a 10-year span, they took the top 15 teams and then they just like a card thing and then mixed it up. And
Yeah,
stuff
it's not
like
the
that.
same as like a.
But now, more recently, like past 3 years, it's back to a lottery.
This is not what I'm on.
With all like,
Yeah.
it's like a lottery thing where all the things, the number sucks up, and that's to pick the team.
So you can be the,
How about this?
you can be the worst team in the NHL and not get the last pick.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, anyways, that was good banter. Let's move on to we covered that a lot too much there, but it was fun. I think that's good for another conversation. It's good for another conversation.
I did have a question though. But 1998, did Penguins Capitals play at all?
I don't know. We weren't. No, I don't think we did. Maybe we did. But who cares?
Well,
The point is, maybe we can cover that another
They made
day.
the Stanley Cup final in 1998.
They made it, we didn't. So
We didn't play you guys
that
that
would
year.
be
We
stupid.
didn't play you guys.
That would be a dumb trash talk because we didn't make
It
it.
wasn't trash talk. I was
Okay.
trying to figure out who played.
All right, well, let's move on.
All right.
That'd be
Moving
another
on.
day's conversation because obviously it looks like it'd be fun. So how about we go into the football schedule here as we did last week? We covered AFC North. Now we're in the NFC North now, and which is Chris Berman used to call it the Norris division from NHL. So we'll go on here and pick our teams, which is an interesting division because I don't know about you, but I think Jordan Love has sparked some controversy there with Aaron Rodgers, if he's going to finish in Green Bay, if he's not. Brett Favre saying he won't, but I think he will because I don't think he's going to be the same as Brett Favre because Brett Favre was bitter and he didn't help out with Aaron Rodgers at all.
How much longer do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to play for?
I think a couple more years.
He got 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because he hasn't. If he gets a receiving core, which
He only has one receiver.
the draft, Green Bay didn't treat him well. That's for sure. Got a quarterback. So, anyways, let's go into the picks here. We'll start off with the Bears. They're playing at Detroit week 1. I got them with a loss.
That's a win.
I haven't beaten
Detroit. Okay, so I got a loss.
Remember, they have Nick Foles now.
That's good.
That's
So I got them with a loss. The Giants at home, I got them getting a victory. At Atlanta, a loss.
Loss.
At home to Indy, loss.
Loss.
Home to Tampa, loss.
Loss.
And then at Carolina,
Yeah.
win.
I have them beating Carolina.
Yeah, I got them winning.
Yeah.
At the Rams, a loss.
Loss.
I have them beating Rams.
Really? Okay. Home to New Orleans, loss.
Lost to the New Orleans.
At Tennessee, loss.
Loss.
Home to Minnesota,
Loss.
loss. So they'll at the end of week 11, they got 2
4-6.
wins.
I have them at
2 and 8 for me.
3
I have
and
4 and 6.
3 and
Okay, so
7.
we're pretty All right, so coming out of the bye, they got Green Bay, loss. Okay, we're all Detroit
Loss.
at home, a win.
I have them beating or losing
Home to Houston, I think Deshaun Watson comes into a cold Chicago and wins.
I have
Loses, I'm sorry.
I have them beating.
I have them.
Yeah,
I have
me too.
losing.
Okay. At Minnesota, I got them at a loss.
I have them beating Minnesota.
Okay. At Jacksonville, loss.
I
I mean,
win.
win, excuse
That's a
me. Win.
Yeah, win.
And then finish the season out
Loss.
losing to Green Bay. So,
I have them beating Green Bay.
okay.
I have them losing Green Bay, but I have them.
I got 5 and 11.
Yeah, 5 and 11.
I have them 8 and 8.
Okay. 8 and 8. That's pretty.
I mean, Nick Foles, you never know. Could be
Yeah,
Nick
depending on Nick
He
Foles.
did
They got a
wins.
good defense.
Nick Foles
Yeah,
did.
yeah, the defense is good.
Nick Foles is going to play better than
Nick Foles did.
Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Foles beat the Patriots and won the Eagles their first Super
Oh,
Bowl.
I think Trubisky's he's no
He's
good.
terrible.
He's terrible. So next up is Detroit. So obviously with me, I got him beating Chicago in week 1.
I have a loss.
I have them losing that game.
All right, I got him at Green Bay with a loss.
Loss.
At Arizona, win.
A win in Arizona. Yep.
Losing to New Orleans.
That's
Yep.
a loss.
So bye week we got 2 and 2. Okay.
My week, I have them at 1 and 3.
Okay. So then out of the bye week, they're at Jacksonville,
Win.
victory.
Win. Yep.
Okay. At Atlanta, loss.
Loss.
Indy, a win.
Actually, I have them losing the rest of the season. Wow.
Really? Wow.
Wow. So
Okay.
Indy, I got a win.
I have them at 2.
Indy have a loss.
Okay.
These two, the two, like the AFC North and the NFC North, it's one of those divisions where it's like you have 2 really good teams and then 2 really bad
on that one, but I don't have them losing the rest of the season. I mean, at Minnesota, I got them losing.
I have them at 2.
I actually have them beating Minnesota.
Beating Minnesota? All right, so I got them beating Washington.
No,
I'm sorry, losing to Washington. Excuse me.
I have them
losing to Washington.
I have them losing to those. Yep.
Okay. I got them beating Carolina at Carolina.
I have them beating Carolina. Yep.
Houston, I got them losing.
I have them beating Texans.
At Chicago, losing.
I have them beating Chicago.
All right. Green Bay, I got them winning. Upset there.
I have them losing.
Late season upset.
Yeah.
At Tennessee, losing.
I have them losing Tennessee. Yep.
At Tampa,
Lost
loss.
to Tampa, and then
Minnesota,
winning
loss.
Minnesota.
Okay.
Question for you: what makes you think they're going to beat Green Bay?
Just, it's that way the NFL goes. Upsets special at home. I mean, you didn't
Division-
give a Sunday.
the
Doesn't
division-
matter.
It's tough to pick divisions.
He's right. Division matchups.
Division matchups can go either way.
Just like in our division. I mean, you could lose to the Bengals and beat the Browns and Ravens or whatever. But I got them 6-10. What do you?
7-9.
7-9. All right.
2-14.
So your divisions are pretty. I like that. So 6-10, 2-14. I think that's a little crazy. I think Detroit's going to get.
I have the Bengals at 2-14.
Okay. Well, the Bengals are a different team.
Yeah, but
than
Matthew
Detroit.
Stafford. They got Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford. He could be better than 2
Yeah.
games.
The Bengals wide receiver scores are going to be pretty good.
Okay.
You don't know how Joe Burrow's going to be though, so it's kind of like an
Okay.
up and down thing.
All
I
right.
still think they're both.
Well, let's move on to actually to Devin's point. I think there are 2 teams in that division are relevant. Is Green Bay and Minnesota. So
I agree.
Green
They're
Bay.
the top of the division.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Green Bay week 1, I got them beating Minnesota in Minnesota.
I'm winning their first 4.
I haven't beaten Minnesota.
I got them beating Detroit.
I have them losing to Detroit.
All right, I got them at New Orleans with a loss.
I have no one's a loss.
That's a win. That's an upset win.
Okay, so there's your upset. What you're saying. Home to Atlanta, I got them a victory. So
I got
But my upset win,
Atlanta.
I think my upset win makes sense. It's 2 good teams.
no, that's just your opinion. So if you want to get into that trash talking, I'll bury you. So you might not want to do that. So I will. So
That's
3
your
and 1.
comeback every time.
I will.
I have them
Because
two-
your trash talk's not good.
What are you doing? I'm burying you
I have
alive.
them 2-2.
All right, so I got 3 and 1 after week 4. At Tampa, I got them at a loss.
That's a loss.
I got them beating Tampa.
Okay, so at Houston, victory.
Beating Texans. Yep.
Okay, Minnesota, I got them a victory.
Yeah,
Beating Minnesota. Yep.
Going to San Fran, losing that
Yeah,
one.
that's a tough one.
That's
That's,
a-
a,
yeah,
that's
they
a
don't
loss.
do
I
well.
have them winning that game.
In San Francisco.
They've gotten blown out in San Francisco.
It might be one of those games.
Okay,
Could be.
home to Jacksonville, a win.
I have them beating Jacksonville.
Yeah, winning against Indy in Indy.
Loss.
Loss.
Okay, home to Chicago,
That's a
victory.
win.
Win. Yep.
Philadelphia,
That's a
victory.
loss.
Win.
Okay. At Detroit, I got them with a
That's a
loss.
I have them winning.
Home to Carolina, win.
Losing Carolina.
Home to Tennessee,
Loss.
got a win. Wow.
I lost
All
that
right.
game.
At Chicago, finishing out
I have
with a
them.
win.
I have them losing.
But back to Tennessee, Green Bay doesn't have that defense to take care of Derrick Henry. They're not one of those teams.
Yeah, but also
You know,
that's
no,
in
I'll
Green
give
Bay.
I'll give Green Bay props. It's in Green Bay, which is very hard to play in. So we'll see how that game goes.
Okay.
I think it will be a close game, but it's like Derrick Henry. It's like the final minute, he'll get him down there. He'll go.
Okay.
get him.
All right,
It's
we'll
like
see.
It's like one of those.
So I got 12 and 4.
I have 9-7.
I have them at 11 and 5.
All right. So pretty. So you got 9 and 7. So there might be a battle between them. Okay. So Minnesota, your buddy Kirk Cousins.
I have Minnesota beating Green Bay.
Okay, I got a loss.
I have them losing that game.
I got at Indy a victory.
I got them losing the Colts.
Okay, home to Tennessee, I got a victory.
Beating
in Minnesota.
Tennessee.
I'm losing that game.
Okay, I got at Houston a victory.
I have them winning. Yep.
That's
All right, I got at Seattle a loss.
Lost to Seattle.
loss.
Home to Atlanta a
That's a
win.
A win to Atlanta. 4-2.
Yep, I got 4 and 2.
3-3 going.
Okay, 4 and 2 for me and Todd. At Green Bay, I got a
I got a
loss.
loss. Yep.
All right, I got a home to Detroit a loss.
That's a win.
That's a win.
All right, at Chicago, I'm sorry, win. Excuse me. At Chicago, I got a win.
That's a
I got a
win.
win. Yep.
Home to Dallas, I got a
That's
win.
a
I got a loss to Dallas.
Okay. Home to Carolina, win.
That's a
That's
win.
a win.
Home to Jacksonville, win.
Win.
That's a win.
At Tampa, loss.
I have them beating Tampa. Shocker.
I like
One
that.
of my
I like that upset. I
specials.
like that upset.
That might be good.
Tampa's got to lose to somebody.
Yeah, I like that upset. Yeah. Chicago, I got them win.
I have them losing to Chicago.
Okay. At New Orleans, loss.
I
Yeah.
have them losing to New Orleans. Yep.
Okay, then finishing off at Detroit with a win.
I have them losing to Detroit.
I have them at 10-6, so they're miss.
One of those
that
end
first
of the
place.
season shockers.
So yeah.
I have them missing that first place spot by like one game.
So
All
I,
right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so I have Minnesota finishing 9-7, Green Bay finishing 9-7,
Wow.
and Minnesota winning
8 and 8.
the division.
Okay. I got Green Bay winning it at 12 and 4. Minnesota's going to be in the playoffs at 11 and 5, and then Detroit and Chicago 6 and 10, 5 and 11
I have-
for draft
I have
picks.
Green Bay 11 and 5 winning the division, and then Minnesota being one of this team for that extra spot or whatever. So that's how it makes it.
I mean, yours is. I like that. That's a typical NFC North.
And it's always close.
Right,
the teams are always together.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's actually hard to pick who wins.
It is because they seem to all.
It wouldn't shock me if Detroit is good this year.
Yeah, like comes out of nowhere with some like fluke victories or whatever. So
yeah, that could happen. But what do they have to do that with? Matthew Stafford, he's all right, but.
Okay. Well. Anyway, so let's. We're gonna have a guest join us here in a minute. So let's take a break and we'll be right back with our guest.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All of a sudden.
Let him sit down.
Great. Thanks, Dad. All right, guys. Welcome back. We've got a guest here tonight to join us. I like to call him Randy, the Redskin fan. So welcome, Randy.
Welcome, Randy.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going, douche?
Long-time Redskin fan. He has suffered like Todd, so sure that they can.
But I am old enough to remember the glory days.
There you go. Back when we were in middle school and going into high school.
You know,
so this is good for them.
Good memory is all you need.
Yeah. Right. So Randy, I mean, basically we brought him on because he's definitely been a long-time Redskin fan like Todd, and I think there's some things that we'll talk about here that he can relate to differently than I know Devin and I can. One, he was a season ticket holder for a long time, but the cost and the relativity of the team has not been very good. And, obviously he can talk about that in a couple minutes. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is my thoughts on pre-Danny and to the present where Danny is now. Dan Snyder, as we're talking about. So before Dan Snyder, it was Jack Kent Cooke. Pretty much Redskins legacy. I mean, they were a tradition. Just RFK and even as a Steeler
franchise.
Yeah, franchise known. They were always competitive. They had great players. Just regular consistency.
Right.
Jack Kent Cooke passes away. Dan Snyder comes over. He's a techie guy, owned a tech company, billions of dollars, and the massacre begins. As that my thought. But what's your thoughts how it was before and how it is now?
Personally, it was more of the salary cap that changed the dynamic of the Redskins. Because of the fact of before salary cap, they could hide guys away. Joe Gibbs was famous for that. He put guys on injured reserve, hide them for a couple years and stuff like this. And then all of a sudden he can bring them out. They were ready to play in the NFL. After that, 94 after he left was when they started going down. They were 4-12 that year under Richie Pettibone. So they were not good at that point, and they haven't been able to catch up since salary cap came into it. Dan Snyder took over in 98. So, that definitely was a struggle for them. I do not blame him personally. He has made a lot of mistakes as an owner, but the guy tries. He puts a lot of money out there. Maybe he meddles a little too much. He wants to be the next Jerry Jones. But he's trying. At least he's not a cheapo trying to sit there and just, have a team out there and hold back as much as he can. He cares. He puts everything that he can, and I do believe that he wants a winner. He just can't seem to get it right. It keeps tripping over his own feet.
Or it's like you get a couple guys and then you get setbacks. One thing, you're not the Cleveland Browns. So,
Sure, yeah.
As a Steeler fan, that's a laughing stock every year. They keep
The fact
trying.
that you have to say we're not the Cleveland Browns still sucks.
Well, no, you're not, but you're not like...
We're not. We're Cleveland Browns and then the Redskins.
Well, yeah, but be considered in that.
No, but okay.
I hate to cover that kind of thing. You're not.
That's so bad.
You're not
like considered that.
All right, let me take that back. So, at least the Redskins and Cowboys, you would see that on a prime time. Steelers, Browns...
Redskins have no primetime games.
No, but that's Redskin fans, though,
Which
we
I'm
ask
happy.
for that. Randy, who works pretty early in the morning,
Closed
Todd,
caption.
too. They're pretty happy about
3 and
that.
13 will get you no
Yeah,
problem.
3 and 13 doesn't get you anything.
Right.
Devin in his life has not had a deal. He's used to prime time. But the Redskins, though, I think this brings me to the next question as a season ticket holder. I know you've given that up. And as a season ticket holder, the value that you're paying every year and what the product is on the field, certainly I've gone to games with you and watched it, and you don't even enjoy staying for the whole game. So do you think you're going to enjoy it now just as a fan? You get to watch on TV or go to a local bar whenever it opens? Or are you going to miss that
Yes, I do. I still watch them every Sunday.
Right.
And I will watch them religiously no matter what. Even at the end of last year, I would watch them and stuff like this. And I'm always hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm always, you know what? This is the game they turn it around. This is the game this happens or whatever. Always optimistic. As a Redskin fan, you grasp with everything that you can.
We liked ourselves.
Yes,
We have self-medicating
If
ways.
you don't have hopes,
This is
have
the weekend.
nothing.
This is our weekend.
I'm going to do it.
But it was Haskins last year, see
Yeah.
how he progresses and stuff like this, and if the defense is going to get better and anything like that, you start cheering for players. When your
Yeah.
team's done, you start cheering
Yeah.
for players and hoping that they're going to make the next step. So that's basically the progression.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Haskins for you guys, it's always comes back to that sophomore slump thing, and I think he had that in his first year. And I think this year is where he starts progressing, becoming that quarterback you guys want him to be. I feel like this is the year.
Yes.
I'm hopeful.
I think, and to Devin's point, I think if they give him, like, at the end of the year, yeah, he did have some...
You got a couple good games.
Yeah. But then he had some,
The Detroit game, the
Yeah.
Carolina game, the Eagles and Giants game.
He showed-
He showed
Yeah.
he showed promise.
Yeah.
It's a shame he got hurt. To not play in Dallas.
No, yeah.
So?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see... I mean, Devin's an Ohio State fan, but I mean, I think Haskins, I liked him as a quarterback that one year that he was a superstar. So, I mean, I think that, and that brings me to my next thing. You're talking about cheering for players. So, Chase Young, you get the best player in the draft. You got Montez Sweat on the other side last year. Is he an
He
Old
started
Spice
off
guy or
slow.
something? Was he an Old Spice?
He was on Old
Okay,
Spice.
that's right.
Now, before, in the beginning of the season, when he did nothing, I was like, really? You wasted your time on this
He came along.
He was spending time on old deodorant.
Why don't you get the quarterback?
Not the deodorant.
We traded away a second-round pick for you, dude.
He did good though towards the end of the year.
Yeah, he did. He
Actually,
started
midway
picking it up.
season, yeah.
So, and Kerrigan's getting older, so you know what? To have those guys ready,
HBK.
you know what? I love it. Still good. Kerrigan can still play, but you know what? To have those guys as bookends for the future.
Yeah.
They seem super talented.
Yeah.
If they can live up to that hype and the talent that they actually possess, man, that's awesome to have. The NFC
Quarterbacks
East,
get worried.
The NFC East is going to get a lot of beatings. Them
Yep.
quarterbacks for the Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys for years.
Yes.
Going back to quarterbacks and like Haskins and stuff like that, Ohio State's never really had great quarterbacks, and now you've had Haskins and then Justin Fields, who's probably going to be a good quarterback. We don't know yet. He's going into his, I think, senior year now, but it's one of those things where it's like, could Haskins be that guy that changes like Ohio State's like kind of thing where,
That's a good point.
could that change where it changes the view on the quarterback aspect of Ohio State?
Yeah.
And if
you're
he
right.
becomes what he was projected to become, he might be the best
Yeah.
Ohio
Yeah.
State quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I was
Herb Street's the ESPN guy, not really a...
Like I
Yeah,
said, he broke the Ohio State touchdown record, but then with Justin Fields the next year, obviously he broke it, but he threw, I think, 48, 50 touchdowns at Ohio State.
Haskins
He lit it up.
He's got talent.
that
Yeah.
one year he threw 50.
Got him on
I think
talent.
he needs it
Very
around
good.
him. I mean, that's what, like
He
we
doesn't
talked
have an
about...
offensive line.
He needs to learn quarterback position and
Yeah.
certain things, and this is the high percentage
Yeah.
play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, probably, the most talented guy, I'll just throw it to him.
Yeah.
You know what? In NFL, everybody's talented. You can't do that.
Well, like
So, you have to pick.
Yeah, and you're right. Like you said there, like you got Chase Young and Montez Sweat. You got the defensive guy. You got Kerrigan. You got some other guys on that defense. But then the offense, it's like, okay, you got AP who played for the league minimum, has done a great job. You got Geis who 5 games in 2 years. That's painful. Yeah. Then you got a
If
receiving.
he stays healthy, we're gonna
He
be good.
shows.
Yeah. If Geis comes in and
If
balances,
he plays 16
Yeah.
games,
He just
we're gonna
has
be
to-
good.
that'll make Haskins
Yes,
better.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you'll still enjoy the Sundays. Will you miss though going to the games? And that's been what?
I will somewhat, but there's certain factors of going to the game that I do not like. The pricing. I'm not
$20 beers.
Yeah, I mean nobody cheers anymore and stuff like this.
You're-
Everybody stands.
Most of the stands are most of the opposing.
It's the opposing team.
I'm surrounded by the enemy.
Giants fans.
every
I've gone to a
game.
couple Giants Eagles games.
I
Like,
mean,
wow,
I'm literally surrounded by the enemy every time sitting on the visitor's side, and
Yeah.
it's just
I do
frustrating.
think winning will change that whole atmosphere. But
I mean, they're fed up with it. I mean, you guys as fans, I mean, it's like a generation has been skipped.
But Washington's a transient area. We have people from all over the place.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's fans from every team that are living in this area now, and they have their teams, their home teams. So I can't blame them.
Most cities don't have. It's not as trans. I mean, obviously New York is, but like
most are not.
Most are not.
Yeah.
Most other cities are not.
But the other thing is, like, you've got two other teams, pro teams that have done well. You've got the Capitals who won their first cup. They brought
what year was
going that way.
2018,
and they still don't have as many cups as us, right? So that's irrelevant.
But we're talking about the most present.
Okay, well, the most present is they're not going to win this year. I'll put that on camera. They won't win.
We'll talk about most present. How many years did it take you to win one?
40-some years.
Doesn't matter.
I can talk about it.
Caps fans will battle you. Blue in the
You
face.
can't take it away.
Depressing.
You cannot take it away.
They exercise. Look, they exercise their demons against us.
As a Cap fan, never
That's
thought
more
we'd
than-
win one,
yeah,
honestly, because of
No.
all the freaking
Cheating.
frustration.
To be honest,
cheating.
I was shocked we beat you guys.
Yeah, right. You had to beat us in overtime. You took a.
I was shocked.
Just by the way, you beat us after 2 straight years of winning the cup. We were pretty worn down. Play us a couple years early, probably wouldn't do that. I'll just say that. You got us when we were wearing down.
You gave it
The
to
year you
boo-hoo for being tired
And
of winning the Cups
and
2 years in a
Kuzi
row.
might have been doing 8 ball for that game.
You poor people. You guys in a row.
I mean, Kuznetsov could have been doing an 8 ball before that overtime period.
I mean,
I don't know.
Hey,
That's why he had that extra jump.
It could have been. That's what got that bird flying with her. I'm like,
Dexter Manley did what he had to do.
Dexter Manley forwarded him a couple vials there and said, "Do it, Kuzi." You did
Actually, you guys hear Dexter has COVID?
I know. Yeah, it's
Pray for Dexter.
yeah.
You look at the series over the Penguins. 2016, you played. Physical teams. You played. The Rangers. That was a 4-1 series, but still, we played them 2 years in a row before that, and we got our butts kicked.
What was that game though? What was that guy that scored? Panino. That's what it was.
Okay,
Panino
I was gonna
on Holtby, your all-world goalie. Oh, we win.
No, it's the Caps.
Another heartbreaker.
The Caps are always notorious choke artists in the playoffs. As
No,
Cap
but that's-
Especially against
Yeah,
Especially
we know this.
I mean, how many times have we gone through?
It's well documented.
A lot.
It's well documented.
It's almost like we okay, cool, we got
It's
right
just
where we
like-
want.
It's other teams also.
It's just one of the
It's
things
frustrating.
where
As a Cap.
we played.
Yeah.
We played that 2016 year. We played Rangers, Capitals, and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. That's when
I
they
don't even
started.
talk about Tampa. They're a joke.
That's
They're
when they started
boring.
becoming good, though.
Soap
It's like
operas
that
are more
team with
better than
Vasilevsky,
Tampa.
Kucherov.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I don't
game-
care.
He beat him in 18 though too.
Yeah, and then
Who's that guy in
20
Tampa that's so great? What's his name again?
Stamkos.
Yeah, I forget because he's not that good
And then-
because he's never done anything.
and then
But he's so great. So
They
great.
won a couple.
Who cares? He's still not that great.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, not in Stamkos era.
Vincent Lakai.
Not in the Stamkos era. Stamkos is like this great guy. Like they made this big ordeal, and like I want to get back to what we're
Game
talking
7,
about.
yeah.
Game 7, Stamkos come back. Yeah, we dismissed that. Goodbye.
Right.
You're no good.
We
Let's go back to the Reds.
I know they don't like hearing
This
this.
is a- this is a
Let's get back. We're getting hockey, Devin.
I